Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is your life path reading utilizing the astrological tool of your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant. The placements where these planetary bodies are in. This is the influence that your sign has on, the spectrum that you observed incarnating or reincarnating to the spectrum. Now, life path 1 deals with your individuality, your initial intentions, your entrepreneurship, how you want to take your ideas and your gifts and bring them to humanitarianism, where you are being an individual, where you are being headstrong. This is where the concept on the negative spectrum comes from, of being a superiority complex, thinking you know better than everyone else ahead of them. Therefore, you're putting yourself in these precarious situations on the negative spectrum. Life path 2, you're being relatable, you're compassionate, you're considerate, you have your clairvoyance, you have these gifts and talents and spiritual duties and powers to relate with others, relate your mind and create two minds, or create two fixed minds, or associate with yourselves amongst the individual. This is how you build up a rapport. One person links with one person, and then y'all two link with two more people, and those two more people, so on and so forth. And you are empathic within these gifts and relating and creating ideas. This is how you're giving birth to your environment within life path 3, with all your technology, your gifts, your electronics, speeding up communications, speeding up analysis amongst communications, diving deep into the intricacies and the broader spectrum of humans as a whole, on the micro level and on the macro level, enlarging or you coming in the minute of details, So in life path 3, hey, you see me doing something. Life path 3, you know what I mean? This is the manifesting. You manifesting like that. This is being within your environment. This is putting death to things and bringing life to things as well, because it's in the environment. It's what you see. It's what you can taste, touch, smell, or feel. You know what I'm saying? This is generating and communicating and connecting on the metaphysical level with, the earthly, tangible things, and being grounded and going deep within the intuition and things. So you're using your technology and your gizmos as this to understand the hearts and the souls of men within the waters, guiding the waters to where they need to go, to where they are hardened, where the earth and that practical structure of the technology, where that goes on the higher spectrum. This is where we get into life path 4. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be acting and respond to things that are unique, things that are put you in a situation to be, rebellious, create a new, greater concept than the concepts or the umbrella concepts that many forms are up under at the moment in the present pleasant time. You have the higher idea, the higher octave cornerstone to build, the final structure, the boxing out, the logic, the structure, the higher octave structure within the cosmos, right up underneath the planetary bodies. It's the direction of, like the asteroid belts and things of that nature coming into Earth. This is your gift and talent to be able to expand upon the logical concepts and expand and going in and out and weave out different spaces with spirits there and that are not being there also, because it's the 11th house. You're networking, which you're not all that familiar with, but you're rubbing elbows. So you're rubbing elbows with these concepts based off of divine waters. Life path number 5, gift, talents, love. You know what I'm saying? I got hyped up because this is emotion. This is generating. This is vast spiral, whirlpool of emotion, where you are the body and the planet has different faces, but you only see them on certain seasons because of the rotations. So you govern pretty much the emotions with your logic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you logically understand that emotions are emotions. They are the vibration, the soul that carries the frequency. And we know it as, Aquarius is that you transfer this energy and this networking and this communication via the wavelength of the vibrations, and studying how that spectrum dives in and out of higher chakras and lower chakras, and weaving in and out of these mechanisms that are created of the mind. So it's like your mental and spiritual technological advancements on some motherfucking transformer shit, more than meets the eye. Life path 6. This is, in tarot, this represents the Leo. So this is your opposition, because it's receiving the stars, it's receiving the recognition, it's receiving lights, it's receiving the fame, but sometimes it's attention seeking. It wants to be seen. It's stepping out of the spotlight. This the concept of stars burning out and being vacuums, and just it's shining from a distance, but once you get close to it, you see that it's facade, and it's ultimately transparent. So work on being more transparent, work on being more individual, work on being the example, like much like the life path 1, but on a higher, greater octave, on where you are not seen as much, but you know and appreciate yourself, and you want to receive attention for being unique and original, but you might play it out as being distant and separate, and thanks to this nature. And being separate, that comes into, you know what I'm saying, life path 6, being a good team leader, being the personality, being the spark, the battery, all these other not even ideas and concepts, but the fact of the energy, the zeal, the passion, the motive, the lightning strike, quick and fast in a hurry. So life path 7, this is separate, being outside your world and being within the world, and having the overall understanding of the natural synchronicities, the natural cycles, the natural form of completion, whether it's odd, you know what I'm saying, thanks to that nature, being in the 7 wonders, being in your mind, being outside, being in the solar system. As Aquarius is where you set in, that's being the angel or being the lower octave demon, you know what I'm saying, having your wings and being aware of yourself and others and the concepts. As far as, you know what I'm saying, being separate, this is how it's playing out, as you desiring to go forth and being sarcastic while you're giving answers in riddles, because your communication is so far that it's traveling, but by the time it reaches somebody in that spectrum, it reaches them in an indirect or a separate manner and form of that way. Life path 8, spending time, hierarchy, religious structures and foundations and institutions and systems and governance and principles, and being very stiff. This is where the Saturn co-ruler of Aquarius comes into play with restrictions and boundaries. You are being an example of how to restrict yourself, or how to take care of your responsibilities and not be so much in the la-la land that you miss the opportunities that are in front of you because you're in la-la land, not focusing entirely on the reality of the structure. Like, you have an idea and work with humankind within the heart and the chakras and the spectrum, but you got to use your balancing systems and your structures and your reality and your way of making things hard and carving things out with your mentality. That's why it's fixed, because it's going against the grain, it's going against the resistance, it's trudging its way through, adding piece by piece, block by block. So life path 9, this is your wisdoms, this is your experience, this is all the things that you have learned, accumulated in the 1. This is where you come to play of being the example of not being so much of a know-it-all, you know what I'm saying, being an ego and going ahead with your technological advancements within this life and this reality. No, put them down, please. Going to another spectrum with them, being a know-it-all with the technology and, you know what I'm saying, astrology and your spiritual system and your knowledge, you know what I'm saying, sharing that with others in the wisest way possible. And I know the different cultures, different Aquarius, different minds and spaces. Life path 11, 22, and 33. This is you coming into this realm either being too polarized or trying to play both sides of the spectrum. Life path 11, you are an individual looking at other individuals' individuality. So this can either be seen as being selfish and using others for yourself, using someone that's a wild card and sending them into, you know what I'm saying, catch the bullets for you, or analyzing someone else's individuality and understanding that individuality as a whole. It's not just your concept of individuality, because if it is, then what about, you know what I'm saying, the collective? This continues everyone else's train of thoughts on the individual. So this is what you're here to learn and be the example for. Life path 22. Your way of relating or being considerate to others. What might be considered to you might not be considered to others. You know what I'm saying? And something outside of you, such as a desire, not within your environment, but something that you being paying attention to as far as the mind, that developed into, you know what I'm saying, the concept of float that's floating around, trying to take a body and be in relationships and going through relationship experiences with your fixed mentality and assisting others with their relationship and giving them advice on how to love and how not to love, and sharing love languages while looking at others, you know what I'm saying, relating, like the concept I just said, take it 2 and 2 and make it 4. Life path number 33. This is being metaphysically attracted to manifesting within your environment and others. Something, taking responsibility, being an example, taking responsibility for just, hey, this is my environment, but when you leave that environment, someone else is going to come and bring an environment into an environment. It's always space within space. You know what I'm saying? Bending in upon itself. So someone else is bringing their space into your space, and the thing you paying attention to the things that you have and the things that they have. And this is an example not to be envious of their train of thought or thinking with their logical, you know what I'm saying, left brain perspective and outer worldly thinking on the positive spectrum. And that's your life path reading. Aquarius' sun, moon, and ascendant is how the spectrum plays out. You know what I'm saying? DM me for a personal reading. with your personal sun, moon, and ascendants as a blend. Thank you.